Hello, fellow gamers. I'm Gloryhound, and this is my very lovely Dr. Gloryhogg. How are you today, Doctor?
So you're going to push the button to switch over? Good to know. I thought there was more of an intro or something.
No, I know you haven't been streaming for that long, you know? So, like...
It's new.
On the Kickstarter show, we actually have a shorter intro than our regular shows. Yeah. Well, I guess these are our regular shows, but not the regular show. So that's a little different. That's a little different. If you're new to our channel, make sure to give us a like on this video. Think about subscribing and perhaps join our Discord. Do all the cool things.
I feel like I'm new because I forgot what we do. Completely forgot. Hello
to our chat today. It looks like we have Nosferatu in chat. I thought I saw Just Joe. We have Studio Lanniston. We have Battle Cry. How are all of you doing out there? We really appreciate you being there.
Thank you for being here at this awkward time on a Wednesday night. But I kind of like that you could potentially, like something like Dice Throne came out like Monday, and we can talk about it now instead of having to wait all the way till Friday.
Oh, absolutely. And then the things that came out on Tuesday, we have the chance of talking about them sooner so you can make decisions, hopefully faster. So, hello, J-Mac. Let's see here. How'd you get the lovely doctor? The doctor was all
you got was the meh, huh?
Meh.
That's true. I don't know what was happening. This is my first time. Everyone be nice to me. It's my first day.
It's like, we haven't had a Kickstarter show. We haven't had a Kickstarter show in a couple weeks now, and we apologize.
It's been 2 weeks, I think, yeah.
I just want to tell everyone. So, in case you didn't know, I am working at Extra Credits right now as a full-time position as their social media manager, director, all that business. So it has been super, super intense trying to learn everything that I've had to learn, as well as try to carry on the shows. So we haven't been able to do as many shows lately. So that will change, though. We will be going back to a lot of our regular schedule with our Kickstarter show and our playthrough. So at least a Kickstarter show and playthrough throughout the week for all of you.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that this week will be the start of that. We will move forward with that schedule and everything. The last 2 weeks have just been very, very busy.
Right. There's I got sick for a little bit there.
Yeah.
Just like a head cold, but then we also had internet where we didn't have consistent internet for 3 days, and so there's been a bunch of different stuff. So it hasn't just been just that. So, we went out of town to Disneyland.
Yes, it's been insanely busy, everyone. So that's why we have not had Kickstarter shows. It's been good. Yes,
it's been good. It's been good. I haven't even looked at Kickstarters until just recently. So I was like, man, it was. Every campaign we're talking about today is basically $1 million campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
$1 million campaign.
Crazy.
Some of them don't even cost that much, too. And J-Max says, I love the Kickstarter shows. Well, thank you. We love doing them with all of you. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, Battlecry liked the downtime for his wallet. I agree. It was kind of nice. I mean, when you start looking at the cost of lightsabers at Star Wars, woo, Disneyland.
We need an
those
update
bad boys
chat.
are like $200 plus.
We need an update chat because I have things to say about the Disney lightsaber experience.
It was pretty sweet.
I am out of my mind, and I need to talk about it, everyone.
We got to go.
Nope, we can't talk about it now because we're doing our Kickstarter show.
Okay.
It's update chat, everyone. We'll schedule something very, very soon, okay?
She's a liar.
Starting, we have Marvel Dice Throne. This is by Roxley Games, also joint with Op and, of course, Marvel. This is for 2 to 6 players. Should last about 20 to 40 minutes in this. You are going to be an epic superhero in this game, and you're going to be battling other superheroes for, I don't know,
bragging
coolness, right?
It's just like the first Avengers, right? Where everybody starts slapping each other around, and we all know that Hulk was by far the strongest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then eventually later on, you get Thor comes back again. He's like, password strongest Avenger. So it's leader of the Avengers. They're gonna do it. If you've got a bunch of superheroes together, especially when they're male focused, they're all gonna try to see who's got the heaviest hammer. It's like,
wow, the heaviest hammer,
it's
right?
Thor.
But I mean, there's other superheroes in there like Captain Marvel and Black Widow as well.
But if you noticed, Scarlet Witch never tells anybody how powerful she is, and Captain Marvel, when told to prove that she could fight, was just like, I have nothing to prove to you, because they're women and they don't feel the same need to
But they're in there just to make sure that everybody else knows that they're still BAMFs.
Well, they just are. They don't need to prove anything. All right, so if I had to fight somebody, I'm not going to fight Scarlet Witch or Captain Marvel. That seems dumb, real dumb. Especially, can you imagine Hawkeye trying to fight the two of them? Hawkeye's just I hope she's asleep, and I'll shoot an arrow at her through the window.
Okay, so first off, chat, I need to know, if you were going to fight any one of these Marvel heroes, which one would you pick to fight?
Hands down, Loki. Hands down.
You would fight Loki because you're like, he's going to lose anyway.
Here's the deal. If you fight Loki, half the time you throw a punch, it'll just be an illusion anyways. It won't even hurt your precious hands. You'll just be, illusion again.
Oh,
and then he'll stab you in the back and you die. But much better than getting scratched up by Black Panther or having, Scarlet Witch can just erase your mind. Have you not seen the show? It is not good. So, she can do whatever she wants.
Nosferatu says they go to Disney, spend all the money, and then all of a sudden we get a new Kickstarter show. Right?
Yeah. We didn't spend all the money. We luckily got to go with Grandma, and Grandma spent all the money.
Right. Battlecry says Black Panther is unstoppable, they heard. I don't know. I've heard not so much. Not so much. Battlecry. I'm just saying.
Oh, you heard wrong.
In this game, though, you are going to be rolling your dice a total of 3 times in a Yahtzee style. So you're going to be trying to make different combinations to pull off your special abilities. It's a back and forth. So you go ahead and attack somebody. They attack back. You have some cards that you can use to upgrade things. You have lovely, lovely game trays and Rodney's lovely face on how to play if you're interested in that there.
So Canadian it hurts.
They did a fantastic rollout of all the characters. I love that they chose the Miles Morales Spider-Man here.
Just because of Into the Spider-Verse, they just fell in love with the movie. This came so when they came up with this concept, it came at the perfect time, right? Because they probably knew that Loki was coming and stuff, but it was before What If, so they don't have any of the What If stuff in here. But if it does well, maybe they will get some of the What If stuff in here, or maybe they'll do some more of the other characters. But the vast majority of these characters all have movies coming up in this sequence of Marvel Cinematic, this 10 years, right?
I didn't even think about that.
Right, because the last 10 years, they're gone. Like the original Captain America, a lot of those people, Iron Man, a lot of those people are no longer going to be doing movies going forward in any kind of substantial way, where Black Widow just had her movie.
So,
2 of them have their own TV shows. Black Panther's got another movie coming out. Doctor Strange has a movie coming out. Spider-Man has a movie coming out. They're all the characters. Thor has another movie coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy would be another fun
Battlecry says that they would fight Hawkeye for sure.
Yeah.
If you can reach Hawkeye.
Here's the
I don't know,
deal,
which character are you going to be?
I still would rather just, because you figure they're going to, if I'm fighting as myself, I'm going to probably die. So I'm going to pick the one that I feel like will kill me in the least harsh way.
Okay.
Loki will just pop up behind you, stab you in the back, and just be like, ow! And then you're dead. That's much better than
you die.
much better than Thor hitting you with his hammer in the face and your face just crumbling a garage door in a hailstorm. No thanks.
These do have complexity ratings. So Loki is at about a 4 on this complexity rating here, where Captain Marvel, which I played last night, was at about a 2 on this
Yeah,
here.
they were smart. They gave us the most basic characters they could. They're like, here
Why
you
was
go.
that? Why does that make them smart?
We're just messing around. There's a lot of really cool characters in this set, though. I am excited. There's not a single character pack that I would be upset to play with. Because,
oh, yeah.
I really like the Black Widow movie. I love Shang-Chi. I can't wait for them to come out with a character like that. That was amazing. The 10 Rings.
If you haven't seen Shang-Chi, everyone, make sure to go ahead and check that out. It is one of my favorite Marvel movies now. One of my favorites. Just hands down.
But every one of these are from the Marvel movies that I've watched multiple times, right? There's some that I watched. Some of the Captain America ones I enjoyed, but I watched them once. I didn't go back over and over and over again. I've watched all the movies that these have been in multiple times.
So let's see here. Nosferatu says, I'd like to see Villain's version of this. That would be amazing. I think this is the trial run. They pick the strongest sort of stuff. They put it in a box and they're like, are people going to want this? And if people do, in the future, you're probably going to see more stuff.
And here's another good point that's kind of being brought up with Nosferatu saying, I like the heroes, the playable heroes, that are kind of over Iron Man and Captain America. Those are represented in every single set, and you have to remember the roots of Dice Throne. It's always been 50-50 as far as male and female, so there's always pyromancers, gunslingers, moon elves to go with the barbarians and the tactician and all of that. So this is a pretty even split. It's 3 to 5 or something? They try to keep it very much so, and they try to...
Where you can play different characters. They even have, the Miles Morales character, which is a younger character and stuff. You've
got a wide variety, right? Because you got to figure Benedict Cumberbatch is 90 or something. So they've got everything from, the 14-year-old...
Benedict what?
Cumberbatch. Cumberland. Cucumber. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Doctor Strange?
They've got a lot of, I love him in Doctor Strange. They have a lot of really good characters in this, though. I'm surprised. There's always going to be people there's always going to be some character that you really like that's not going to be in this, but I thought they hit a wide variety of current Marvel characters that we're going to be seeing in recent or upcoming TV and movies. That's
Here's
what's really
the mini
important.
hammer here too. Do you just walk around with the mini hammer like in your pocket? And...
Somebody was saying they were going to put a hole in it and use it like as a keychain.
Right?
Then nobody could ever steal your keys because
Right?
they'd be held down by Mjolnir.
Who would be your nerd pick of hero for this besides Squirrel Girl?
I love Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl would be an amazing pick. I mean,
never even
come
really
on.
read a bunch of comics, but everything I know about Squirrel Girl from like what I've watched from YouTube and stuff, she's hilarious.
So Studio Lanniston says, I like Marvel United and would like to see some X-Men mutants later. That would be amazing as well.
I would love to see that too.
I don't know how the Marvel Universe, though,
except Phoenix would just win,
is doing that. So I'm not for sure because they haven't introduced it technically in the Marvel Universe yet because it was previously owned by Fox, and I don't know when they're going to do that, and they probably won't want to do it until like they feature it in their own stuff. So love the art that Manny does, right? Such a good job.
It's good. It's good. I've got even some of his Victoria.
I didn't see
art.
these play mats.
Oh yeah, they're real good.
Oh my god.
I really like the cover art one because it kind of has everybody on there, but like Scarlet Witch.
Oh
no.
no.
That Scarlet Witch one. Which one do you like the most out of these?
I love so many of these.
I
Okay,
like Miles
so
Morales.
I love
That's a good one.
Thor's. I love Thor's up here for sure. I love Scarlet Witches. Oh, come on.
So good.
Roxley, what the actual heck, okay?
Hey, look, there's a really sweet collapsible dice tray. Maybe we could pledge for that.
No.
She didn't pledge
No
for it
dice
last time.
trays
I
for
wanted
you.
one.
No dice
I wanted
trays
a
for
super
you.
sweet. Oh, and also a new update to this campaign is that the player trays aren't going to be all black. They're going to be actually kind of color coordinated, so you can look at it and go, oh, the green one's Loki.
Yep. So the
Red one's Scarlet Witch.
price on this is $84. I just realized I sold my dice throne and left the playmat. Oh no.
Too bad for them.
For real.
Too bad for them. So this is a very simple campaign as far as it's one pledge level. The add-ons would be the different playmats, which I know that slowed down their delivery last time, was people having, because everyone who, like us, since we did not have playmats, we got ours, it seemed like a month before other people in our area who did have playmats. Because it just takes longer. They pack out the easy ones first, and if it's just the base game, send it out. When you start getting the extras and stuff, and it gets a little bit more complicated logistics-wise, whoever's doing their delivery for them, they've got to work a little bit harder on that one and make customized packages with like, oh, this playmat or that playmat.
So bottom line here, we did a playthrough of it. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out on our channel and kind of how the game plays out and everything. But Doctor, would you back this game?
So Dice Throne is a game that I've always been a proponent of. I really enjoy Dice Throne, but with the last year, we have played a lot less of it because it was a game I typically play with others. I didn't play it with you as much.
Right. And you've been at home with me a whole lot.
Right. And so we've been playing, and also we kind of play a lot of the new games all the time. So there's not usually a lot of time to go back and play something like this. I have enjoyed playing it with my brother, played it with my kid, but even that hasn't happened as much this last year. So since we have Captain Marvel and we have Black Panther, I feel like I have to get Doctor Strange and Loki, but I could probably calm myself down with that. I don't know if I want to devote another half of a Calyx shelf to another big battle box.
A big battle box
do,
of Dice Throne.
But at a certain point in time, I don't know if I need...
run out of room.
I don't know if I need 24 characters, right? Because that's a lot of characters.
Here's the thing, everyone, and that I'm having the problem with is that I really like the Marvel characters, and for me, I almost feel like I would rather play those ones than the other ones.
Of course you would. Of course. It's always going to be the next one, right?
Well, but there's other ones that I would play. Like, I really like the Cursed Pirate in the previous
set. And you like the
set.
vampire?
I like the vampire and stuff. So, like, I like the darker characters in the original sets. And there's other characters that I'll play, but those are, like, my favorites.
Where, see, like, I like just having the variety. Like, the Ninja's good. The Shadow Thief is one that you like.
I have more connection to the Marvel series and superheroes in general and these characters. So, for me, it makes me want to play them more. Like, that's tough because we do have so much Dice Throne. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, it's tough. I can see what you're saying. I almost want to find somebody who'd be willing to buy, like, my set, like, one set of mine, where I take, like, my 4 favorite characters out of the season 1 and my 4 favorite characters of season 2, and then get rid of a whole mixed match set, something like that.
Oh, this is interesting. Studio Lanniston says, Dice Throne was a blast to watch, you guys, and the others play. But for me, it was not fun. Weirdly, most games are boring to watch and fun to play, but Dice Throne seems to be the opposite.
I really enjoy Dice Throne.
Intrigue.
I do have to say I like it a lot more when it's 1 versus instead of like the 3, you know, King of the Hill. I did not enjoy this much. Even the 2 versus 2 took too long.
I really like the 1 versus 1 with dice thrown. I actually do not like playing it any other way than 1 versus 1.
I am still lucky that I'm in that sweet spot for Marvel where I'm not bored of it yet, right? I know that it can turn people off with like, more Marvel, but I'm like, yes, more Marvel.
J-Max says, I love Marvel themes. That's why I like Marvel Flex is my favorite of all the Flex games, right? So I'm really at an impasse here with this because I want to get it, but I don't know where we would like put it. And I wish almost at this point I could just like mix and match with somebody.
Like I said, like just take some of them out and
be like, here,
them.
take some of these other ones that we don't want, and then like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. It's tough. Because I enjoy the vast majority of them, but like I don't play, like I've never really played like Paladin, for example, or Seraph. And I don't think that's ones that we play very often, but that's a character from season 1 and a character from season 2.
Either way,
I play Pyromancer usually if I'm playing, or I play the Gunslinger, or I play very specific characters, the Monk.
Right. Chat, are you backing this? I want to know. And
sounds like you're on the fence.
I'm not on the fence. I want to back it, but
okay.
Like I don't know what I'm going to do with all of it. Is the problem? I'm thinking about like the end process.
Maybe what we could do is
I want this Thor playmat.
Maybe we could like give the mix match set to my brother or something.
Chat, I need suggestions. Okay, I need suggestions. Elwin says backed it and then some, right? Because they have so many amazing things on this campaign here.
Like I really like some of those playmats.
I really do love some of these playmats too.
The top 2 are mwah, and then Scarlet Witch is really sweet. I think those are my favorite 3.
Jeez, everyone. And you all know that Roxley does amazing production value and everything. Yes. They have amazing art. Like, what you're going to be receiving from them absolutely will be fantastic. Nosferatu says, I'm Gregging this.
Right, Nosferatu's
totally
never played,
legit.
though, and we discussed it. Like,
we did.
Nosferatu, and even the same thing for Razor Girl, who lives in Australia.
Yes.
It might make sense to wait for the retail, get a 2-pack of some of your favorite characters. Like,
right.
I would be happy getting, for example, Loki and Doctor Strange. I'd love to get that set, and I could live with just that if that was my only choice, right? And then I'm spending like $30 or something instead of like $100, for example.
Also, as a note, I'll be playing in the Board Game Spotlight tournament for this Dice Throne set here. I will be playing Loki, so make sure to join us for that on Friday. It's going to be in the evening. I'm really excited about it.
J-Mac is evil. Just back it. Worry about where to put it later. We've done that, and here's the problem, J-Mac.
Our table is full.
Our kitchen table is literally full of games like this, and it's a bad.
Can we store it at your place for a while, J-Mac,
I'm
and then
worried
get it back?
about the structural integrity of that table at this point with so many games on it.
Is a little stressed.
That's where we used to play test, and we would learn the game, but we can't even do that in there now. We have to do it all in here because that table's full.
Just Joe Blog says, already in.
So Nosferatu is probably going to end up getting it later.
Okay.
I do like the idea of the battle chest because it is nice that it's all together.
Right, but I do like the fact that they do have those dual sets. So whenever you find it at retail, you can go, oh man, I love this character. Or maybe pick up like 2 boxes or something like that and get like the
So the real talk would be, could you convince me to just have the Marvel set and let the other 2 sets go?
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to like press that. I didn't want to press it.
I think that's what you really want. That's tough because
what if we just kept our favorites out of the other set?
I've owned the original Dice Throne, and then I got season 2, and then I got season 1 re-rolled, and then I got Adventures. So I've owned everything Dice Throne minus the very, very first Kickstarter copy that they had when they were under like Mind Bottle Games instead or something, or Minecraft Games or whatever it was before they joined up with Roxley. I've had everything else, so it's tough. I don't know.
So J-Mac says, I built 5 bookcases on Monday to store and display all my board games. Of course I can keep it at my place. Very, very convenient, J-Mac.
That is tough.
So the one thing I do have to say is I do hope the dice are pearlized because I think the dice that we received in our promo set were not really pearlized in the same way that they usually do. But I imagine they would be. And because it's like a pre-production whatever thing, you know, like they're just trying to get it out the door.
Right.
Because I like it whenever they pearlize. That's like a total me thing. But I want to back this game, everyone. Okay, we got to move on.
That's not surprising.
We got to move on. Next up,
I wouldn't be sad to back it. There's just some logistics to figure out.
Absolutely.
If I had to only get one more set, I would get Doctor Strange Loki.
I have a life-size Thor hammer. I don't need a mini one.
Sure.
All right. Next up, we have Senjutsu.
Senjutsu.
I think it's Senjutsu, everyone. And
Senjutsu?
I apologize if it is not, because I felt like I had
Didn't you
control. Well, I felt like I knew what it was, but then like all of a sudden I'm like, do I know how to pronounce this? I'm pretty certain.
You took it like, what, 20 years ago in high school?
I think it's Senjutsu. Yeah, Jutsu. Because J-U and then Su.
Well, there's no J-U
T-S-U.
in there.
Senjutsu. Yeah.
Senjutsu.
See?
There's no J in there.
Senjut. So.
Oh, okay. The way you have it on our
Su
screen
is T-S-U. It's
the way you
Su.
have it on our screen, it makes it look like it's just an I, not a J. So I was confused. Never mind.
All right, so this is by Stone Sword Games. This is for 1 to 4 players. It is 15 to 20-minute game here, okay? This is and I can't believe nobody has ever done this before because it makes complete sense.
Isn't this like Bushido Way of the Blade?
Samurai skirmish game.
Isn't it like that game that was on like PlayStation, like Bushido? Wasn't it kind of like that, where you like would fight?
I don't remember that game.
I thought you had
but
that
yes,
game.
I mean, that was more of like a ninja sneak around game. This one here,
that's a different one.
This one here is like you are samurais, and you're facing other samurais in battle, and so you're specifically skirmishing.
Yes.
And
placement's big.
Right, placement's big.
Moving
the
behind
cards
the
you
enemy.
play are super big.
You might spend a few turns just getting next to each other, then it'll be like, and then someone's dead.
I can't believe nobody's thought of this theme before.
Which that's the whole.
For this.
That's kind of the whole idea with the samurai.
Complete sense.
Was that as soon as that blade came out, it was usually like 1, 2, someone's dead.
So much sense. Why is my thing not showing anything?
I don't know. You broke it.
Oh gosh, everyone. Oh
go back
gosh,
up,
everyone.
Go back up. Shh,
don't
be
look.
careful.
Don't look.
Be careful.
Don't look. Okay, maybe it's fixed. We're gonna see. Okay, you
Roll
can look
slowly.
now, everyone.
Roll slowly. It's a very cool idea. It's kind of actually, which I just really kind of thought of it, it's like Unmatched in a way. Unmatched plays very differently, of course, but it is very much a 1 versus 1 battle.
Yes.
So you're playing with cards. You can go with a pre-made deck, or you can make your own deck.
Oh, that was another thing. You can make your own decks.
That's pretty interesting, and they kind of play somewhat differently. There's a lot of cards. It seems like there's a lot of cards that do kind of cross over that are similar, but there are some very specific cards that only certain samurai can use. The characters looked cool. They all have cool names, like the student or the vengeful Ronin and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
One's called Bill.
Absolutely.
That's just Bill the sword dude.
So, this game was. The designers of this game are Paul Allen and James Faulkner, who also made Hogs of War, which is another war game where you have like skirmishes happening and everything like that. They have like a card game that has already come out, and then they have Hogs of War, which I think has been delayed probably for COVID and stuff like that. So it has not hit the market yet, but it's gotten lots of like good reviews and stuff like that. So I wanted to get Hogs of War so bad, everyone. So bad.
What do you think about this one now? Like, what are your thoughts?
This one, I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I would really, really like to back this game because this is my jam. I'm all about little skirmish games. I love skirmishing so much. And having it be a 15 to 20 minute quick skirmish instead of like breaking out.
Oh, wow.
What is the game I'm thinking of? What's up?
Oh, I was just reading what Nosferatu said. Like, I want it to be an expandable franchise where there's like they'll fight against Vikings and the French and
that would
Turkish.
be interesting. Yeah,
that would be pretty crazy.
So,
that would be like an ultimate, just like going back in time fighting thing where everybody fights differently and you see who's the best and find out some like random Roman dude who's just like, I'm the best.
Giovanni says, I'm considering backing Too Many Bones, but not sure what level. Yeah, we're gonna probably talk about that at some point because. We're also interested in that.
It's got about 9 days left on it. Too Many Bones is one of those games that we know that we should probably like it. We just don't have it or know anybody who does.
Yeah.
So it's really our friend's fault.
It's our friend's fault for not also backing games.
The problem is that Greg and Dan are more Euro and kind of like abstract 2-player card game types of players. And then our other buddy, Alex, is definitely into these types of games, but he doesn't have Too Many Bones. So it's actually just plain Alex's fault. Just 100%.
So the other game that I was thinking about, what was I thinking about? It's a Games Workshop game.
Shadespire.
There we go.
So Shadespire is like 4 or 5 people on a map running around, which is a little bit different.
Right. So I love Shadespire, but the setup for Shadespire is so much grander because you're still dealing with quite a few characters on the board. You're still setting up the other person. Yeah, you do have a deck of cards that you use and everything, but I actually like this being broken down to smaller player counts when you're playing, and it's going to be really fun because you can get those games out faster. Because Shadespire, you're still looking at least an hour's worth of gaming for those games.
Okay. That's
you know?
true. It is about an
So
hour.
this one's going to come out faster, and I'm excited about that.
Right, that's why it made me think it's a little bit more like an Unmatched, because an Unmatched can be done in 30, 20 minutes.
I've played Unmatched so much more just because it's so fast to be able to go ahead and kick out those games and play. And then I love the little terrain portions that they have in this. I love right here. The little bridge. That is so samurai western, right? Like you meet on a bridge and you're like...
It just makes sense tactically to me on a bridge.
You have to like wait to pull your sword, get like your cut in, like I don't know.
It's a tactical thing to meet on a bridge because it's a narrow area. They can't have
but
somebody
like you
join in.
face each other, and then you give each other like the eyes like this, and you get all serious and stuff, and then you like have some sword play happen.
You would have been very interesting in the army, as you would just stood up on a wall and gave somebody the eyes, where I was giving somebody the bullets.
Stop it! You let me romanticize whatever I want, Doctor.
I gave somebody the bullets. That's what I gave. If they saw me, it was a mistake.
War skirmish of all great armies throughout history. Romans versus samurai, Vikings versus Persians.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Giovanni says, I was afraid I wouldn't have anyone to play with without it. Too many bones. But I just played Spirit Island solo today. Oh, that's a good one. I like Spirit
Island solo, I could see that being a lot of fun. Yeah. I've only played it with her, but I could see that still being good.
Luke says, this game isn't for me, but the next two games in their Battle for Japan series sound ground... 4X game co-op ninja dungeon crawler. Yes.
It doesn't sound like they're going for more things.
They are, absolutely.
This one's interesting. I feel like I'm less excited about this one than you are for sure.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like the wackiness of Unmatched, where it's like, you know, ridiculous, like Beowulf versus like the Little Red Riding Hood or something like that, or Sherlock Holmes versus like a raptor, where this is more serious.
You keep comparing it, though, to Unmatched, and really...
I know it's not Unmatched, though. I'm saying I like...
It is heavier, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I like the silly funness of Unmatched.
Okay.
That's exactly my point. Thank you, Gloryhound, for making
my
point. I enjoy the kind of silly battles or the really ridiculous battles that would never happen. I like that aspect of it.
What's this dog doing out on the board?
What's
this cute little peeper doing? Like, what's the cute pupper doing out on the board? He's just running around there being all cute?
So I think this one looks cool. I don't think that this is, because it does lean more towards that war route. And it's like kind of, it is card programming because you're setting yourself up for your next turn and everything. So I think I am.
Sorry.
So she wants to back this, clearly. So she wants to back Dice Throne and this. I'm sure this is going to be a very cheap week.
It's going to be fine, everyone. It's going to be fine. Okay.
My point being is I think this is a pass for me. I have to play it to see if I really enjoyed it because I'm not as drawn to this one as I am to some of the other things we've seen.
Okay. So this one here starts at $49, and I think that's an insanely great price to get on board with the start of this and everything. It's, it's not as expensive as some of the other ones. Come on. Oh, I'd kill Petter for an Akita in real life. What?
Akitas are pretty sweet.
They're very cute. I'm super down with this, and I also want to see this company's game Hogs of War. So I just need to talk to the company and be like, hey,
I would like your product.
I would like to go ahead and play your game.
38 exposure.
Where can I get them?
I would love to pay you for this game in lieu of monies.
Can I get them? Because I'm really curious about how this is going to work out. Because I really want to. I'm sad we missed Hogs of War, too. This company seems like my jam, everyone. Who's backing this in chat? Let me know.
Did I tell you about the time I decided not to back Tainted Grail?
I know.
Grandma?
I know. You have to miss some of them sometimes, everyone, okay? But
you do, because you can't own every single game. If we buy every single game we thought looked interesting, it would just, well, first off, we couldn't afford it. And second, what would we do with them all?
So Nosferatu says, I haven't watched this closely, but I'm backing this right now. Studio Aniston says, currently backing on this one.
It's very interesting. Like I said, for me, though, this is something I would have to try before I can go all in on.
Yeah.
Because I'm either going to really enjoy it or I'm going to be like, okay.
Right.
If it leans too much towards like the war side, then I won't enjoy it as much.
Right.
It's just me.
It's more like
I
a
like
Western.
card battling.
It's more like a card battling Western, Doctor.
Put some cowboy hats on them and we'll talk. I'm sure Nas could like
the
print us
same-
off cowboy hats or
The
something.
same sort of romanticized thing, right?
You put a Mandalorian helmet on there, and I'm in.
This is the way.
No, this is Senjutsu.
Oh.
That's a completely different game. This is the way. That's totally different.
Nosferatu says it's a great price for a great entry, right? Okay. Moving on, we have Mythwind.
Like this Mythwind is very unique.
It is. Okay, this is by OOMM Games, so Out of My Mind Games. This is for 1 to 4 players. Should last about 10 to 9,999 minutes is what BGG says.
You can play it for, I mean, they said you can play it as much as you want. You can play it for 40 minutes. You can play it for 17 hours and be like, okay, I'm ready to stop, because the next time you pick it up and play, you just go from there. People can drop in and out of it. This is the same company that did Stars of Akros, which used to be called Starlight, which we backed.
Yes, we did back that one.
Which hasn't been delivered yet.
No, has not been delivered yet, because it is, they're talking about early 2022 because of just delays and stuff like that, which makes sense. And it's a gigantic game anyway.
I would be more upset about it if we had backed like one game, but since we have a table full of games, I am less upset about not having the game in my hand.
This particular game here is also by the designers that did Starlight, Stars of Akros as well. So same designers.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
Oh, I thought you said company.
Oh, okay.
Apologies. I thought you said company. I said designers.
You're specifying the designers are the same.
Yes.
Gotcha. Which we were excited about Stars of Akros. Like, we still are. Like, I still want that one.
So in this game here, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be building a village. And as you build this village, you're going to get more options and more stuff available to you. I really like the game trays in this and how they keep track of everything. Looks like everybody's kind of doing something different.
Right, kind of like a little bit of like a Merchant's Cove, where you're kind of doing something slightly different, because there's like an innkeeper, there's a farmer. They're all kind of doing their own thing. What's interesting about this one, though, is it's cooperative.
Yes.
So you're working together to build this town. So like that part's nice. Do you think this would be kind of like My City, where it's like this kind of peaceful thing, and then after a while you get kind of bored with it? Or do you think this is something that you would, since we're working together, it would just be more enjoyable? Like kind of like Artisans of Splendid Vale, where you feel like you're like discovering stuff. Because there are secret envelopes in this.
That's a really
I don't know how
good question.
story heavy it is.
That's a really good question.
Because this seems more like a game where Artisans of the Vale had skirmishes, but it was more story with skirmishes.
Here's the thing. So with Artisans of the Vale, I feel like that's a game for a very specific group of people, where you're like, okay, if you like RPGs, if you like
the exploring
story,
aspect of RPGs.
exactly, that's for you. I feel like this one has the same sort of like feel to it somewhat, and like, oh, you're in like a little mythical fantasy land, but I almost feel like this is geared more for not heavier board gamers, but people who play board games, like pushing meeples around a board, pushing cubes. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so it leans more towards like that Euro-y crowd.
Right.
The ones who want to solve
does.
more like of a puzzle.
Right. I feel like it does, you know, because of the look and kind of what's invested in it. And then like the building portion is actually more the out of the box portion. Like, okay, we're going to go ahead and start building our little area here with our buildings and everything. And
so
that's like
Farmville or something. Where you're building, I mean, which is, hey, you laugh, but I mean, I played Farmville for a while, so.
Like cooperative Farmville, everyone. So Studio Lanniston says Stars of Akros looks great. Got that one coming. Also, whenever you get it, you'll have to let us know if you like it or not. Nosferatu says.
Do you think you could enjoy a game where you just like farm and like do chores and get things done?
Doctor can.
No, but do you think you could?
I could.
You think so?
Are you talking about Animal Crossing
yes!
right now?
You've been playing Animal Crossing forever, and it's the same thing. You're just building random stuff.
No, it's creative. It's creative.
This is creative?
Okay.
Your mom's creative.
Let's see well, my mom is creative. She also plays Animal Crossing. Okay, Nosferatu says, like, I had this as an option in the old Xbox game Fable. Cool, I can build a town forever to keep making it bigger, but I'm losing interest quickly.
I don't remember if I built my town forever in Fable, but I built like every settlement up way too much in Fallout 4.
Luke says,
like way too much, like to the point where like she's like, hey, you need to go to bed, and I'm like, I'm trying to build a death ring.
Just stop. So Luke says, this game sounds quite innovative, but I need more direction in my games and my life.
Okay, because it does seem like you can kind of go wherever you want with this, and there is no like hard stops, which could be good or bad. I mean, if you're enjoying it, you just keep going with it, right? I'm curious about this one. I feel like I need more info. Like, I feel like I need a little taste of this, see if this is something I would enjoy, right?
So
because you could always try a different character if you didn't like the one character, but you do want to make sure you're getting your money's worth if you're playing this, which that makes sense. Studio Anderson says they want to get video game amount of time out of this, right? Like 40 plus hours, right? That's fair.
The starting price on this game here is $85 USD, and then it's $118 for the big box version here. I'm really curious to see how this portion here is going to go and how it's going to feel, because I feel like
that'll either be really fun or you'll be bored by it.
Here's the thing.
You'll feel like you're going through hoops.
Okay, and here's the thing from the games that we've played that have had not variable player powers, but
asymmetrical.
Really super asymmetrical things, like a root and what was the other one? Merchant's Cove, stuff like that, okay? I found that there's not really like a mid-ground for that. It seems to be like either it's really light and integrative, or it's really heavy and integrative. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to spend a lot of time learning each character, and then you can integrate everything. Or you spend a little bit of time, but then it's like a very light game. Right,
like it's, this is just post-explosion, like, but super light.
Right. So, like, I'm wondering where this one's going to fall in that. And I feel like since they're going, like, in a heavier sort of Euro-y sort of feel to everything, I think it might be more root-ish. And I'm guessing because I haven't played it, everyone. I haven't played it. I don't know for sure. So...
yeah, I think this looks
take that with a grain of salt.
This looks like a really cool concept. I just don't know if I'm 100% on board with it at this point.
Oh, no, Sprout says, I need the conclusions.
You want to end to your story.
We're getting there.
No, Nas is saying they need an end to the story. Like, Nas doesn't want to play Animal Crossing because you could just play it for the rest of your life.
Okay, so they need the conclusions to feel good about what they're doing.
Petter, what do you think about Farmville, the game? So it's interesting. I don't know. I like the idea of it, but until I was actually I would have to play it, I think, in order to really have. I like the secret envelope. I like a lot of what they're trying to do. I would just need to know if there was a character that I enjoyed, because if I'm sitting down there with all my crops, then I find out that I don't really enjoy the crop part of it. There better be a character that I enjoy, right? And you tend to enjoy puzzles more than I do. Right. So that's what worries me.
So here's the thing.
I don't typically like puzzly games as much, where it's just a puzzle for puzzle's sake.
Going down this board here, I'm like, I just want to be this farmer person. I don't know what they do, but it looks wonderful, and I just want to do it. I just want to do the farming.
That's fair.
But the other characters, I look at them and I'm like,
See, like, I'm more interested like in the merchant, but I'm like, how does that work out as a merchant?
I don't know what I want to do
you're
with
selling
this.
Stuff?
They don't have this on TTS or Tabletopia,
keep
right?
Scrolling. It's always at the bottom.
I'm going to keep scrolling. So, let's see here.
Woodsman could be fun. It just really depends on what you're doing with it. I think that's the one thing I noticed about this campaign. I didn't feel like I got a really good sense of how the characters played.
Right.
Without like having to go to gameplay videos or something like that. I felt like it was just
you usually have to end up, going to some of those.
But not always. Sometimes they can do a really good job of showing you what's going on. But I felt like I needed more.
But that's because they have each character being different. So it's harder to get that all on one page whenever you're showing playmats and you're showing all the minifigures and you're showing all this other extra
they do a good job
stuff.
Showing off the boards and the trays and all that stuff, which I definitely appreciate. But
absolutely,
I felt like I wanted more of like, this is how this character plays. They do that in a lot of other ones just fine. Okay. Like Merchant's Cove, every one of the little characters told you how they played. Oh, this one's going to be
Board Game Co. said it was interesting, but wasn't really sure it was for him because it's just an Animal Crossing without the cross animals, without the mean animals, or
just animals in general. Yeah, I'm like I said, I like the idea of it. I think more than, and they have different difficulty levels. Like your farmers do too. I like the idea of it, but I don't know how much I'd actually enjoy playing it. Because like Animal Crossing is a good example. I played that obsessively for months, and then I set it down and never looked at it again. So, like, I can be entertained by building. I like building things up, but only for so long without there being something else to it.
Here we go.
My big thought on this was, when I saw it, was, what's the conflict? What's the reason for building this town? Like, there's no, like, darkness encroaching. There's no the war-torn town. There's no rebuilding at the end of the world. There's no apocalypse. I felt like I needed like a catalyst to make me want to build this town. Like a survival game would be more of like, I need to build this town so I can make it through the night. I need to build this town so that zombies don't overrun us.
For this one here, I'm going to say that I definitely want to play the tabletop sim version first to kind of feel how the characters are going to play before I actually go ahead and play this game, because Battlecry says, just like your bicycle.
Well, they're
So-
busy calling me a 2 again. Out
Chat-
of 2, which isn't bad.
Chat, are you backing this game? And I'm curious to know why you're backing it. Like, what drew you into this game if you're backing it?
I feel like this one could be very enjoyable. I feel like it would have a hard time beating out the more thematic games that we typically play. Because if someone's like, do you want to play Ankh or do you want to play this game? I'd be like,
Yeah.
well, or do you want to play Tainted Grail or do you want to play this? I'd be like, well, I think we like the heavy thematicness to it, where this is probably more of a chill time, which if you have the right group could be a lot of fun. I don't have time to chill. I'm going to be dead soon.
How our audience, wow. I like how our audience is like, it's a hashtag Greg for me. We're going to have to make that into a shirt and just be like, it's a hashtag Greg. And then Greg will get his name on a shirt and nobody will know why, aside from like just our small group of people.
Even tell Greg
and
either.
yeah, we won't tell Greg. We'll just wear the shirt to his house.
I wish I could take credit for Game Trays being and everything. Everybody wants Game Trays right now. It's
yes.
It's ridiculous seeing. You'd be surprised how many Kickstarter companies are messaging our inbox asking for quotes and stuff. It's a lot. It's not me.
Game Trays.
I sell X-Trays. I don't do the custom stuff as
make
much.
your game all beautimous looking, and they make all the components fit in there nicely.
Well, especially with Kickstarter, it becomes more of a thing where you're like, well, if I'm going to pay $100, I don't want
better
this to
get
be
myself a game tray.
I don't want this to be in a cardboard trench that's just my pieces sliding around in baggies, which I get.
Trays are very polarizing, says
He's just
Petter.
messing around.
Very polar. People either love them or they hate them. No, a lot of people love them, but
I think it leans more love. Than
yeah,
for sure.
but there are some people who are not big fans of them
of
for
course,
other reasons.
there was literally somebody I know who said, "Oh, I couldn't put sleeves on these giant unshuffleable cards, so I had to throw the tray away." And I was like, "That's one option."
Cool. You
so
could have
then he
sold that,
said-
bro.
Then he said, "I spent 30 hours designing a foam core tray or something crazy like that." And I was like, "So you spent a week's worth of like work time to build a new tray because you wanted to sleeve a card that doesn't even get shuffled?" Got it. Each their own. No, I'm a huge sleever when it comes to Magic the Gathering, where my cards can be worth upwards of $20 to $100 a piece. When my cards are worth nothing, and it's a game I can easily get again, I don't worry about sleeving. But that's just me. Anyways,
Who are the?
less about my sleeving.
I'm looking at the people on this here. Hold on. Oh no, it's not gonna do it. I'm sorry. Everyone. I'm sorry.
What? Who's
I was just seeing who all was
covering it?
covering this game. Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a.
I just want to make sure everybody gets the words in, gets their words in and everything from
It's a variety
all
of
different,
people.
all different walks of life and everything.
All right, let's
So-
talk about the elephant in the room. The Viking elephant. I thought you were going to click on the Lords of Ragnarok.
Oh, okay. I was
so
like, what?
It was very
I
awkward.
thought we were
going
gonna have a really serious conversation with chat here.
The
for a
elephant in the
second.
room is Petter's not even Norwegian. He's actually Scandinavian. And I don't know if I can respect him anymore.
Why?
I actually have no real idea of the difference between the two. And that probably makes me a bad person. Anyways.
Moving on that note.
I know they like to read a bunch there, and there's snow.
Doctor's non-knowledge of things. Lies.
Petter's lies.
Next up, we have Lords of Ragnarok. This is by Awaken Realms. I didn't even write the price down or anything else
It's
because it's
100.
Awaken Realms.
It's only 100, I think.
Monies. That is at least 100.
I think it's 100 for the base and like 170 for the deluxe, which comes with terrain, art book, and Sundrop.
This is.
It's actually one of their cheapest ones they've done.
Oh.
Because I just said 160, right?
So this is like the baby of Lords of Hela.
The baby.
The baby. Well, I guess it's
Sure.
not smaller,
No,
but like
this is like Spider-Man, right? They had what's his face and Tobey Maguire, and then they made the Andrew Garfield one. This is the Andrew Garfield one. Like it's a reimagining. It's an reimagining of an idea that they've had before.
got it. I'm interested to hear if you have Lords of Hela, if you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna really want to get this game, or if you're like, I kind of already have Lords of Hela, whatever. Because I feel like whenever a company does remake, in quotation marks, a game in a way, they do make it better. Like, you have
Typically, yes.
Nemesis, and then you have the newer Nemesis game, which
Right.
I'm not going to remember the
Lockdown.
name. There you go, Lockdown. Doctor, I feel like I have you here just to like finish my sentences sometimes.
It's pretty bad. You
Which-
should probably take some Ginkgo biloba or something.
Yes, which was a huge upgrade to the original Nemesis. They fixed some things as they went in there. They
Right.
were able to add some things. So the second edition or the remake of things usually always gets better in board games because they have all that time and testing and like suggestions and ways to make things better and rethoughts and
plus, like they said, this was one of their first games that they did was Lord of Hellas. So now they've had like an extra like 8 years of whatever of game design, miniature design, where they could really do things. Because one of the big things about Lords of Hellas that I know that really people didn't like is that you start building the monuments like at the end, and that's it. So like you've got these really awesome monuments that don't even go out on the board. Where these, obviously, these monuments go out right away. And it seems like they added different ways because you could win in like 4 or 5 different ways. It's like by having like certain areas, by triggering Ragnarok, by fighting different monsters. There's like multiple ways you can win with this one. So it seems like they give you options to pursue in this game. Where something like Ankh is kind of straightforward. You're going to win by, you know, the glory track, if you will. You can get there different ways, but for the most part, you're fighting. You're mostly just doing area control, right? So, where this seems like it has a variety of different ways to make that area control thing a thing.
I would,
if that makes sense.
So Nosferatu says, just like all their games, it looks amazing, but I'm not backing it, and I will regret it like all their other Kickstarters. So that's another thing to address is they have a lot of Kickstarters in the pipeline that just have not delivered yet to people, and that I'm not as happy about. Everyone, I'm just.
So, right, that's
not very happy about that.
The biggest concern I had about this is that we currently, outstanding, have the Great Wall, Etherfields, we have USS Vanguard, and Nemesis Lockdown. That's 4 Awaken Realm projects that we've already backed and paid for that just haven't delivered yet.
That we have not gotten. And so
that typically becomes a thing.
Like a $500 thing or something, probably more. Probably way more.
So I get what you're saying, Petter. Like we still haven't gotten our Etherfields or Great Wall, which I think is shipping now.
Yep.
Which should be shipping now, but we're still waiting on Etherfields. By the time we get it, it's going to be irrelevant. Everyone's already played it. There's not really a point for us to stream it anymore. Part of that might have been because we did the all-in shipping or whatever it is that you did, or I know you late backed one of them.
Yeah, Etherfields is the one I late backed. So I can understand why that one would be late, but why are they not fully delivering everything?
Well, you say that, but like CMON's usually like 2 or 3 projects behind. They haven't delivered X-Men or Zombicide.
Yeah,
right?
But not necessarily like why
or
they haven't delivered
one.
Not why they haven't delivered that. When CMON delivers something, usually it eventually all gets out there. You don't have to wait several years in between people getting things.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
You're saying that it took so long for us. I mean, we still haven't gotten Etherfields,
people,
so you're like...
people have already gotten Etherfields almost
a year
ago now. Like, what? Like, why?
Yeah, so Petter said he did that too with all-in shipping. It's a lesson we learned that not to do the all-in shipping. Do the split shipping if you want it faster.
Yeah, but like, why is this...
Why is there such like a log jam?
Process? Why is this process? Why is it like this, everyone? Like, why?
Do you think it's because there's usually...
CMON still gets everything out in the same year. I was going to say,
usually most of the games don't come with a whole extra box of stretch goals, but CMON does.
Awaken Realms has had enough Kickstarters that they have millions and millions of dollars that they have made on these Kickstarters. Like, why are things delivering like this? If somebody in chat knows or has read something or something like that, I'm super happy to read those things, but like, why?
Well, Petter's saying because they have the development for the base game develop more, so it ships faster, and then all the expansions and other stuff usually ships later. So if you do the all-in, then you're waiting, and you do the one ship, then it goes, you have to really wait.
Then why are they only half developing the game?
Well, they're not. They're developing the base game. That's very common.
But...
It's not developing as fast as you want, is what you're saying?
No, hold on. So... if you develop a game, okay, so they are 4, 5, 6 games in and everything like that. At this point, they should be able to take enough time or have enough people to pre-develop a game before they're putting it on here. Like, it should be pretty much done at that point. Because it's not like they're a little tiny Kickstarter group or something like that anymore.
I see what you're saying,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
You see that with other companies too, and you just don't think about it. Because, like, think about Skybound. Wonderland's War is out there, along with, what else is out there? What's the other one? Valor and Villainy 2. Ludwig's Labyrinth, that one's out there. There's multiple projects that are still outstanding.
Well, I'm not talking about the outstanding portion of the projects. I'm just saying that,
you
like,
feel like
if you went ahead...
too long, because it takes like a year in between sometimes.
So CMON Games will go ahead and put their base game out there, even in retail stores and Targets and stuff like that now. And
The other stuff follows pretty quickly afterwards.
It does. But whenever they go into their Kickstarter, they know we're going to have X, Y, and Z done, and we're going to have X, Y, and Z all pretty much ready to go. Like, we're ready to go with all of these things. And as soon as Kickstarter's done, we then submit those things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a disjointed process of like, okay, now we're going to make the base game, and everybody gets their base game, then we're going to make these games, and everybody's going to make those
Can I tell you a secret?
Okay.
Okay. This is a secret. I don't want anyone else to know this.
No. Am I not going to like it? I don't want to hear it if I don't want to like it.
I think the reason why Come On delivers faster together is because their games aren't as complex. In general, you can't really compare Marvel United to something like Tainted Grail. There's a lot more development or story in one of those. I can understand what you're saying.
You have millions of dollars in the pipeline at this point. Why are you not slowing down just a little bit to make sure that you are giving your audience all of their stuff at once?
Because they were busy building Gamefound too. Did you forget about that? Yeah, you're welcome.
They were building Gamefound?
This is theirs. They own Gamefound.
I didn't realize they were building Gamefound too.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
This is Awaken Realms also.
I didn't realize that they had built Gamefound.
Or they bought it or something. I mean, I think they built it though. I thought they did it.
We're gonna have to fact check that later. So, Come On feels more like a pre-order sometimes. Carol, and I totally get that, and I get how some people are dissuaded from that. But I want at least like the project to be 85% complete with all their extras.
I'm gonna trust Luke on this one. Luke says they built it. Yeah.
Okay.
Petter says it too. They built Gamefound.
Okay.
They did also do that. They're saying the difference is, okay, so here's the difference. Marvel United, for example, if you're using an example, or even Zombicide. First off, Zombicide's been done.
Let's use Car Wars. That's a miniature style game.
That took a while, too.
It's complex, but are people getting their orders?
Sure.
Yeah, are people getting...
Let's use Car Wars.
Okay.
How many hours of story is there in Car Wars? Every box of Tainted Grail came with another 45 hours of story.
I'm talking more about the delivery portions of it, though. So, like...
Right, but if you've got to have a 45-hour... That'd be like saying, why does Banjo-Kazooie get delivered faster than Skyrim 5? Because one of them has a lot more story in it than the other one. I'm not talking about
how fast it's delivered. I'm talking about the disjointed delivery.
You don't like that it's delivered in split things. Well, they're honest about it, though. They tell you that it's if you want it, the base game now, you get it now. If you want the expansions, you do the all-in and you do the one ship.
But they're a big enough company that they shouldn't have to do that anymore. That's my point, is that they're a big enough company that they should be putting more stuff up front in order to be able to get it done as a combined thing.
So you're saying you feel like they should have more of the development done. They should be halfway through their expansion development, so that way the base stuff's being shipped.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, you would have to start. Hold on. You would have to start your own company and show them how to do it, I think, because they need you there to help them do it, I think, is the big problem. They don't have a cat there to help them out.
So Studio Lennison says, I just unsleeved Etherfields to make room in my shelf for all those card sleeves required. Extra overflow box. The amount of amazing and unique art the game means.
Art alone is a huge undertaking.
Absolutely, and I understand that. But
and then Battlecry saying Etherfield had play problems, so they redid some of the game mechanics.
They should have enough money. They should have enough testing. They should have enough resources to be making 75% of the game ahead of time and then be cleaning up the little bits and pieces and then sending everything out at once, because it's almost a disservice to the community to make people pay double shipping so then they can do things on their own terms. Because, okay, so I was trying to relate this somewhat to Car Wars, because Car Wars was a big undertaking as well, and it did have a bunch of miniatures in it and everything. But when I received Car Wars, I received it as one whole set, and everybody's was delivering everywhere at the same time, you know? Like, it was, got my complete game. I didn't have to get the base game or the 2-player game of Car Wars and then wait another year and a half and then get, okay, now here's all your upgrade packs and your extra miniatures. Like, I don't...
Right, I get what you're saying.
Like, that makes me really sad.
I still feel like you can't really compare them when you're talking about hours and hours of story versus other stuff. But that's me.
Well, that's my 2 cents, everyone. I'm very sad about it.
I think it's more the emotional side of, well, you're upset because we happen to be people that just haven't gotten any of our Awaken Realms.
And then
yet.
here's, I don't know.
That probably doesn't help, right? I mean, do you think that's the big issue?
It's like complaining the book series isn't delivered all at once. No. Because if Awaken Realms was doing the book series, only half the people would, not even half the people maybe, would get the book series, and then you would have to wait 2 years before you got their book, and then maybe they would get another book in the book, the second part of the book, and you would still be waiting on your second part. That's why it's disjointed.
So actually, that's a good point. Come On actually did do that with Marvel United, where you got the base first, and then you got all the stretch goal boxes months later.
Yeah, and it was
They did that. It was months,
dumb.
not a year.
It was bad. People were angry. People
No.
were
I'm not talking about retail.
angry.
I'm talking about literally you got the base
Yes,
game.
and I'm telling you, people were angry. People were upset. People were all sorts of upset about Marvel United and the delivery.
Well, Come On was like your big point where you're like, oh yeah, well look, they do this way, but they actually did it the Awaken Realms way.
Most of their campaigns, they deliver all at once. There's very few times that you get split shipping in Come On games. I don't know.
I think the biggest issue is that everybody else seems like they got it and we didn't. And I think that's probably the big point.
Let me know in the chat. Do I have hurt feelings?
I don't think you're wrong. I can understand your point because I really want it too. One of the reasons why I'm hesitant to back this is because we have 4 other ones in the pipeline. I've only gotten to play a little bit of Tainted Grail. I haven't even gotten to fully explore one of their games. So to have to wait on another one again, I can see that frustration.
Here's the thing.
100% get that.
I've already backed this game. I want this game.
Oh.
I've already backed it.
Awkward.
So,
were you going to tell me you already backed it?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. I'm back, and we're backing this game because I already wanted Lords of Hellas because I liked Lords of Hellas. I'm really interested in this game, but this is the last one, everyone. This is the last one. If I don't start receiving some stuff in, like, this is it.
I don't think we can go on anymore.
This is it.
Until we start getting some.
Cannot do anymore.
I feel like Great Wall will show up anytime now. I don't know what's going on with Etherfields.
Not do any more. I need more stuff before I hand over any money. And I'm actually upset about doing it.
Wrap up more of their games before they do more. I can 100%
upset about it.
Agree with that.
At this point, 100%.
I think, because Come On has done that before, but never this many that long.
I hate sending my money this time, and I'm sorry.
I will say Awaken Realms seems to have like some of the biggest campaigns and the longest wait, because at least in Frosthaven, like it's just one game, and like I understand why that one's delayed and everything, right? It's just one game.
Right.
He doesn't have like 3 more Gloomhaven games also that have been kickstarted since then. So I can, like I said, I understand your point. I really want Etherfield. It makes me hesitant to back it also. But I know other people are getting it, so I'm just like, I just happen to be at the bottom of the barrel for some reason, so I don't feel like it's a reason to stop me, but it does make me hesitate.
I don't know. I'm going to see how many days are left on this. Maybe I won't. I don't know. So, let's see here.
Oh, I want.
Mordecai says, I agree, wrap up the projects before tackling a new project. Yes, when you are 5 projects deep and only half delivered on 2 to 3 of those projects, you need to slow down a little.
Like Nosferatu.
See you later. See you later, Nosferatu. Have a good night,
Take a little 99 nap. Okay, but overall, though, as far as the project goes, because that was a very long tangent.
I had to say it, though. I knew this was coming because I'm like at my limit. I'm at my limit at this point. And I've passed my limit at this point, actually. And I'm just mad.
I think it's only because it happens to be Lord of Hellas, which I've been looking at forever, and you've been wanting to get. That's the only reason why.
If this was a new game that it was not related to Lords of Hellas or an entity that I already wanted, like, I probably would not be backing this project. Because I'd be like, what the heck? We don't have anything else. You can't keep making games and me being like, oh, is this company doing a good job making games or not if I don't have the product in hand in order to know if I like the company and the games and everything to back more projects. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, everyone.
I was reading what Sterling was saying.
My big rant.
So they did the 2-way shipping. They got the base, but then it sat on their shelf of shame until the second stuff came in anyway. So that's fair. That's what happened to my buddy. He got the Tainted Grail link because he backed it. I remember that. And then he did the split. And then he didn't actually like really play. He played like the first scenario a little bit, but he didn't really play until the rest of the stuff came in. He's like, because I want to wait till the rest of the stuff comes in. I'm like, dude, you have like hours and hours of game. Like, you should just play it.
The game looks amazing. It's Awaken Realms.
I feel like they've upped it too, where they've made it where there's like just more cool miniatures. There seems like there's unique ways to play it. There's more interaction. It seems like it is an improvement on the original.
Absolutely.
Having not played the original myself, but being very interested in it, it does seem overall like it is improvement. The big thing is you have to know with this company is that you're going to be waiting a while.
So that's why Certified canceled their Kickstarter for Altered Ego. We are still waiting on Endangered Orphans House of Wrath. Among other Kickstarters they did, they said they will run Alter Ego again when some projects are shipped.
Which I can understand a company, like, because development takes time, and then everything with COVID, and then running out of shipping containers, like, things have gotten bad. So I understand why companies are behind, but I can see your point also that if you are behind, maybe hold off on this project until one of the other ones is fully, like, at least let Great Wall fully deliver. Because then you'd be like 3 behind or something. But because Etherfields is kind of a weird, unique situation. But I mean, Great Wall hasn't even showed up here yet, let alone Nemesis, let alone ISS Vanguard, which I didn't expect ISS Vanguard until next year. But like, it's hard to pledge for yet another one when we're still waiting for one that should have been delivered a year ago.
Battlecry says, I'm really sure COVID screwed up many companies' ability to develop games. That's understandable.
But you're not wrong as far as you wanting them to wrap up some of these projects. They should have the money to sustain themselves long enough to do more development and then have these come out later.
They're making like $1 million projects and stuff like.
Well, multi-million usually.
Yeah, so like I said,
plus all that sick Gamefound money. I don't know if they make money off Gamefound or not.
Just having more. I don't know. I'm just upset, everyone. Apologies. So I'm probably surely extra ranting because of everything, because I am a tiny bit upset about things.
But you did still back it, though.
I did still back it.
What level did you back it at?
This is my last one. I think I backed it at the smallest level.
The base this time?
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. Here's something I thought was interesting. They talked about these, and this not sounds snooty, but they were talking about the well-developed trays and stuff, and those are like manufacturer trays. Like, those are not fancy trays.
Oh, pulling out your fancy tray snootiness.
I'm not being snooty. I'm just saying that those are factory-made trays, which are not bad, but they're usually not. I mean, it's made by somebody who's just trying to get a tray in there, not by somebody who's trying to build a functional tray that speeds up setup time, which that does make a difference.
Absolutely. Let's see here. She's fibbing. She isn't in the bottom of the barrel kind of girl. She's top shelf. J-Mac, how dare you know me so well?
Oh, wow, you did pledge 169.
How dare you, don't look.
I thought you did not do that. I was ready for just the base on this one because it seems like
double checking.
The other one is the Sundrop with an art book and stuff, which I have found myself now that I've gotten a few art books, I don't care. I don't look at them. I need to stop getting them because they just sit on my shelf. Oh, dang. With China rationing electricity and the whole shipping thing, there's many layers to the problem. I agree. There is a lot of issues. But I can understand your frustration with Etherfields, though, too.
Yes.
You feel like there should have been an update on that saying, hey, but have we looked? Like, are we following the campaign at all? Or no?
On Etherfields, I need to go back and check. I've specifically started going back and double checking a lot of stuff because we've had a couple ones that hadn't come in for some reason. And so, yeah, I'm going back and double checking. So Studio Lanniston says, I don't remember if you covered Legends of Void. I think we did, but they managed all of the COVID stuff and developed their game on time and are almost to mass production on only 30K euro from their Kickstarter. That's amazing. Ooh. Yeah, like, out of all the companies out there, you can definitely tell the companies that really had their stuff together and have more information in the industry and stuff and more of the forward sight of things and everything because they did do a better job of managing.
Well, I feel bad for the ones, like we know a lot of companies where it's their side thing that they're doing.
Yes.
It's not their full-time job.
Yeah.
Awaken Realms, they've got a full-time staff. Somebody like, I'm not going to name any names, but some of these other companies, it's literally like what I do after work. Yeah. So for those people, I feel bad. For the real, gosh, this sounds bad. For the people that are, what Kickstarter was generated for, those people that are like, this is a dream I have, this is me and my wife doing this thing, those people have had it really rough with everything because it's hard. And it's hard to negotiate too when you only got $30,000 when there's a $3 million project that's over here like whispering in their ear. They're going to listen to that person more than you also. So I'm sure you get pushed and bumped and all that. So that's tough. I feel bad for those people. But when you're a major company, I think communication is key.
Yes.
I haven't backed them myself. We've backed them through your account, so I don't follow them where I've followed some of the other game tray stuff. So some of those companies I can see the communication like, oh, this is coming or whatever, but I don't know with Awaken Realms how their communication is. I've never really followed. I've just waited.
Chat, are you backing Lords of Ragnarok? I'm curious to know if you all are backing it. I'm looking down my backed games right now. Don't look, Doctor.
Oh, you're not putting it up on the screen. I
am not putting this up on the screen, but I'm looking through all of them because I just want to make sure we didn't miss anything.
And sometimes I go, why did we back that? And then she goes, shut up. And I'm like, okay. Oh, $5 on Maximum Apocalypse Wasted Wilds?
Because you wanted something from there, but then you bought it on your other one, so that's how that happened. Let's see here. You did. I thought you did. I thought you backed it on another thing.
I did, but I probably did not.
There's so many good games coming in, everyone. Frostpunk stuff, like...
Carol says they think that they would probably prefer Lord of Hellas.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Carol, why? Why is that? Why do you think you prefer the Lord of Hellas better?
There is a lot of games on here, huh? I forgot about Monsters on Board.
Everybody being super backed up has really...
We got Crash Octopus. I want Uprising, Curse of the Last Empire real bad. That's like an anticipated game, hardcore.
I cannot wait for
Chapters.
The big Vampire, the Masquerade chapters to come out.
Ooh, Lizard Wizard.
Ooh, that should be delivering soon.
Wait a minute, go back up to that Lizard Wizard. It looks like you did not pledge for the game.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I did. Did you guys back the Witcher Kickstarter? We did. We absolutely did. Like, I'm super excited about that one.
Merchants of Dark Road. Yep, there's that Nemesis Lockdown. Just looking at you.
I think
Estimated delivery, September 2021. I feel like that's incorrect. I do not feel like that is here at this point.
With the Witcher one, I think I went back to and I made sure to back some extra character packs and stuff like that because we want the sorceresses and stuff with that. Super excited about that.
You see that? Uprising's on ships.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait to play Uprising again.
The problem is that she backs and then she gets all the emails and doesn't read them. And
it's a lot of emails, so I don't read them.
I get it. I have to do it for work. So, I mean, I look at them because they're usually game trays related. So I always want to see, are they talking about game trays? And if they're not, I can just move on, right? Or if they're like, oh, we're delivering or something. So I have to look at them for work, so I get that. But, like, we never know where anything is because you don't look at these. So
I need somebody to keep track of all the Kickstarters I back, everyone. Let me know when they should be coming in, because that would be helpful.
So Carol says, based on the playthroughs, Ragnarok seems like it's more in your face, and they prefer the Greek mythology more.
I like that. I like the Greek mythology a lot as well, Carol. But I know that the Doctor really likes that Viking sort of theme there, and it's good to know that with the gameplay that it is a little bit more in your face, because I don't think you like the in your face style as much. Are you rethinking
Here's the
things?
thing. I typically don't like area control games, but I enjoyed Ankh enough that I'm willing to give it a shot. And the theme might be enough. That might be enough to get me there. Because I really liked Blood Rage, but I hated playing it with you, personally. Just like one-on-one.
Yeah.
It was horrible that way. I hated it.
So Peter says that might be a full-time job. It's definitely a full-time job, 100%.
It is.
We were supposed to get Endangered Orphans back in April. Yeah, there's been so many
things delayed. I have no idea what's coming anymore. Like, we got in Dinosaur World, like, right before we went on our trip, and I forgot that was coming.
If I could
just showed up, I was like, oh, hey.
The camera and show all of you the ridiculousness of our table right now and stuff, I would. I think I sent a thing in chat, or in Discord.
Yeah.
I believe I sent a picture of it in Discord, so if you are not on our Discord, make sure to check it out. There's a link in the description for that. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on this video. Well, I guess even if you're not new to the channel, thumbs up the video for us. It really helps us out, everyone. And subscribe and ring the bell to get notified whenever we go live. Yes, Radlands, the thing just went out for that.
So I want to recap. So Lords of Ragnarok, we've already backed.
Yeah.
Dice Throne, you want to back.
Yeah.
Senjutsu, you want to back.
Yeah.
Mythwind is the only one that you haven't backed at this point, right? Yeah. So here's the thing. I think that ultimately, I wanted to back Lords of Ragnarok. That was my #1 pick. I think with Dice Throne, I can maybe make room on the shelf somehow. It'd be tough, but I'll try to find a way.
Out of all of them, I would actually just rather do Senjutsu.
That's your #1?
That's
Senjutsu?
my #1.
Interesting.
That's my #1, everyone.
It's always
that
rough whenever
game.
your #1 is not like even on my list.
I'm really excited about it. I want to play it. Super bad.
I hate that because then it makes it complicated. Because there are games that you've definitely backed that I'm not excited about.
All right. Anything else that we need to tell our lovely, lovely audience besides thank you so much for being here. You all are so wonderful. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us today. You all are super amazing, and this show would not be the show it is without all of you, because this is our most like conversational heavy show, because we really, really want this to be a collective of people that are going through Kickstarter and reviewing these things and giving
So please send your
us
$1
knowledge,
pledge directly to us
giving
so that
us
we can
knowledge.
back this game.
We give you knowledge and our experience for backing Kickstarters for many, many, many years now. I can't remember what it was. Like the first Kickstarter we had backed
Tiny
was
Epic Kingdoms.
Epic Kingdoms. That was our first Kickstarter we had backed.
That
was
quite a
the
while
taste
ago.
we got. That's
That's Michael
tainted
Coe's
us.
fault.
It
Gambling
is
Games.
Michael
They're
Coe's
like,
fault.
we're on Kickstarter. We were like, what's Kickstarter? He's like, oh, take this
Oh
pamphlet.
yeah, here you go. Take this. And then that's how that happened, everyone.
Rough.
You always need more dice thrown. What's your pick that is your favorite for the week? Even if it's not one of the ones we mentioned today.
I think Lords of Ragnarok is the most unique out of all those because we don't have a lot of area control because I typically don't like them.
Okay.
So that's Lords of Ragnarok was the one I'm most excited about.
That's fair.
I really like dice throwing. I'm actually surprised that you were super interested in the Marvel version.
I don't know. I just like the Marvel
I know you like
characters a lot
Marvel.
more, yeah.
Like Captain playing Black Panther was actually a lot of fun.
It was more exciting. I felt more connection to him. I did.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I felt way more connection to the characters and what I was doing because of that. So yeah, absolutely. And there's like stories behind it.
Peter already went in on dice thrown.
And then we will be back next week with a playthrough and a Kickstarter show as well. I'm not sure which playthrough we're going to be doing, so I can't
We're
tell you
working
which
on
one.
it. It'll be whatever we figure out to play this weekend.
And I'm hoping to get all of you a better schedule going forward with how we're going to be doing our Kickstarter shows and our playthroughs, because the Kickstarter show will probably no longer be on Friday, everyone. I'm sorry.
Tentatively right now, it looks like our
sorry.
live plays would be on a Tuesday, either for if it's for ourselves or if we were doing one for Game Boy Geek. And then Kickstarter show will probably be Wednesday nights. And then we will try to figure out other playthroughs if and when they come up.
Absolutely. And as a note, I will be doing live content, though. I will still be doing live content on Fridays on the Extra Credits channel, on their Twitch channel specifically. And in the daytime, I will be playing a game. And then in the evening, hopefully, I will be playing a game with Doctor as well. And they will be video games. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure to head on over to those channels as well. I think that's it, though. I think that's a wrap. That was like so much information. Jam-packed with information tonight for all of you out there. JMac votes for Mondays and Tuesdays. Those are my days off. Well, we did that just for you, JMac, okay?
That's why we played on Tuesday.
That's absolutely it. Absolutely it. Anything else? All right. We will see all of your lovely faces later. Thanks so much for joining us today. Bye.
Bye.